In the last class, we were discussing about single register transfer. Just a minute. Previously, in the previous class, we started with single register transfer. So we understood how LDR and STR works. Today, we'll see with few demonstration of the same. In the last class, we also understood the LDR instruction working with a simple example, right? So LDR R0 comma R1. So this R1, we call this as a pointer register here, or in other way, it is also called as base register. The other name for the pointer register, this or this. So since this is pointing to an one of the address, I also call this as base register. Okay. So since what do you mean by base register? Register is a register which stores the address, and this is all about store instruction. Okay. Now today we will go with few more examples. Before to that, I'll just show you the small demonstration of LDR instruction, how it works, and be careful here. Look at this. I have a two data here. I'm clearing the content of R0 register. R1 register is filled with some data. Now later on, I say that LDR load the register R0 with the address pointed by the R1 register, which means that the content that is present in R1 is not a data, it is memory. It is pointing to a memory. Now this particular example simulation will will make you understand how to use the Keel tool in order when we are working with a load store instruction, and how to use the memory mapping in Keel window. Okay, probably in this is the first time this kind of example that you are seeing. Probably I don't know how much you might have remember this in 8051. The same thing was true with respect to 8051 also. I'll just run the program. Okay, now let me close all this. So initially, this is how it looks. Okay, initially this is how it looks, but you need to go to this particular memory location and store some data there, and that particular data should move to R0 register. Let me assume that my data here is, so I want to put 01010101. So 010101010101 is my data. Now this data should be moved to R0, but this data is present in 90000 location. So where I should see the memory first? So in Keel window, you have option called view. There, move to memory windows, select any one memory. Okay, now, so if it is by default there, it is well and good, or else you need to get into that particular address location, that is 9000. So now I came here. So each in the class, or in many times I told you, each memory location is the width of the each memory location is only 8 bit, which means it stores 1 byte of data, right? So if I want to store this 01 in 90 location, 01 in 01 location, 9001 location, again here this is the location, this is the address 9000, this is 90001, and this is 90001. 02 and this is 90003. So totally how many bit? So this is one byte, second byte, third byte, fourth byte. So totally this is now a 32 bit data, right? So I want to store 01 here, 01 here, 01 here, 01 here. So that's how I store my 32 bit data in this address location. So let me try this 01. Oh, it's not taking. What's the problem? So one more change you have to do it. So that is go to peripheral, go to debug, and there is an option called memory mapping. So this memory map we have not done. So I need to go to this address location. What is the memory map range that you have taken in your RAM location? So this is nothing but your RAM location. Out of this, you are trying to take the address location for your purpose 00900000 4 times 0 up till, so some random address I will choose, last memory address, that's it. Okay, 90000 address location ಇಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು 91000 address location ವರೆಗೂ I will be considering as my address. Okay, for what purpose? To read, to write, and to execute. I will map this range now. Our memory mapping is done. Okay, and close this window. Now you see the date. Now you just observe. Okay, okay, something gone wrong. Debug memory map 0x, probably I might have written wrong address, that's it. 9 4 times or 5 times 0, 4 times 0, 1 2 3 4 comma 0x 9 1 3 times 0, right? Okay, for I'm choosing this range for read, write, execute. Memory range, map the range, close this. Now okay, now it is taking my data. Probably I made a mistake in writing the address, that's it. Okay, so this 4 byte of data, that is 01010101 is my data. Now for your convenient I will also write some other address here, some other data here, because you need to understand whether this data is going to be stored or not. Okay, let me assume that my data is 45506000 is my data. Now this address, starting address is located to 9000. From this address it has to move to R0 register, run the program. So R1 is 900. Now look at the R0 data. So R0 I got 01010110, and you can change the, you can see the change in the color, right? So this is the change in the color, right? Okay, this is all about the load instruction from the memory. I just explain one more concept here itself. So now the data is moving from lower byte of data to lower byte of data and higher byte of data to the higher byte of data. So that's what we call it as a big Indian and little Indian concept here. So I'll just show you how the big Indian and little Indian concept works. I'll just reset this. Okay. Now look at this, the data present in 01. Okay, 10 I will take. Okay, 10 is my new data. It is stored in lower address. Now in a 32 bit of data, 00 is the lowest address. The lowest address contains 10 and the rest of the higher address is 0. And this lower address should come and should be stored in lower address of the lower byte of the register R0, that is 10 here, right? So that we will call it as a the what little Indian mode. Or else if it is coming at this higher byte, So if this is this, if this output will be, if suppose, if assume that if the output is 1 0 0 0 0 rest of the bit, then I will call that as a big Indian style. So I'll just run this program. Look at this. Now 900 address location consists of data 100000 data. So that is the lower byte of data is the address, the data that is present in the lower byte will go and sit in the lower byte itself. So hence little Indian. Okay. Now I'll stop this execution. I'll just change my target options, go to device, I will select big Indian. Okay, I will select big Indian and we'll see how a memory arrangement is done and how the data is going to be stored. Okay, okay, now rebuild the program for the target that you have changed. Run this. Okay, once again, for every time you need to map that range. So I'll go to view. Okay, I'll go to debug, uh, choose memory map. The address is 9000 4 times 0 comma 0x 91 3 times 0. Map the range, close this. Now once again I will keep data 10 here itself, right? So now this 10 is at lower byte, right? Lower byte. Now here R0, so this particular point is lower byte. So because this is lower byte and this is MSB, this is LSB and this is MSB. Now lower byte of data will move to MSB. Just observe here. Can you see this? So most significant bit data will come and sit in a least significant bit data or vice versa. When I store this, so since I am loading this, so lower byte of data will move to most significant bit of the register. If you try to store this, the same thing is true. The most significant bit data will come and sit in lower byte of data, lower byte of memory. Okay, so I hope you got this concept of uh, little Indian and big Indian. I'll come back to chat window, and if you have any doubts regarding this, please let me know. Any doubts? with with respect to little Indian and big Indian, have any doubts? Okay, now we'll move to next concept. If you don't have any doubts, so now there are different addressing modes, because I just showed you how a content of register is moved to content of memory is moved to register. Now in here itself we have a three different indexing method, which means the way we fetch the content from the memory. So that is pre-indexing with write back, just a pre-indexing and post-indexing. These are the three different types. So wherein the data, the memory address will fetch the content from the base address plus the offset that what you have provided, and then it the rewrite back the particular address in the R0 register. So this explanation we'll see with an one by one with the example itself directly. So now before execution, assume that the register content in R0 is 0, R1 will be having some data. Now assume that this memory content, that is 90000, that what I have declared is a memory, and this consists of a data 0101 0101. Similarly, the next address location, that is 9004, consists of the another data 0202 0202. Okay, this is how the data looks like in a memory, right? So if I want to store this data, this is how memory address consisting of 900 0101 0101, the totally 4 bytes of data is going to be resolved, and similarly 9004. Next, so this is what the base register, because it is acting like a pointer in my case. Now after execution of what? After execution of the instruction LDR or not, comma, within a big bracket R1 comma hash 4. Now what is this hash 4? This hash 4, we call it as offset address or offset, just a offset. What do you mean by offset? Jump, it is nothing but a jump. R1 will be consisting of some address, initial base address. So base address. So now the effective address of this EA, I will call, effective address will be equal to base address plus offset. So what is the base address? That is 9000, right? 4 times 0 plus 4. So where it will be pointing out now? 9004. So that particular data should come and sit in my or not. So that's where after execution, what was the previous content of this 9004? 9004 was containing 02020202. So after execution, R0 will be consisting of 02020202. Now, this exclamatory mark indicates that you also modify the base register. So where was the base register? It was pointing to at 90004. So hence the base address gets modified. So that the memory contents, that is again, so this will be same, but from the memory content that the R0 will be fetch the contents that is present in the 9004. Okay, so this is what we call it as a pre-indexing with write back. What do you mean by write back? The base address is modified or the base address is written with a new address, hence the name write back, and this operation is performed by the exclamatory mark. Now if I change this exclamatory mark, what would be the output? Okay, just see here, pre-indexing with write back calculates an address from a base register plus, so this plus is nothing but a symbol plus, offset address, and then updates the base register with a new address. So that's where the base register earlier, in this case the base register was 90000. Now after executing this particular instruction, the base address also get changed. Clear? So hence the name pre-indexing with write back. Now we'll go for only pre-indexing. How? What is the difference between pre-indexing with write back and without write back? We will see in this particular slide. Now assume that the register content is same and memory content, I kept the memory content also same, so that you will be understanding in a much better way. Okay, now what change I have done? In the instruction, observe carefully the changes. I have not written exclamatory mark here. Just, and this indicates it is just a pre-indexing. If I write a exclamatory mark, then it is pre-indexing with write back. So here it is just a pre-indexing. Now what it is performing? Now R1 consisting of a base address, that is 9000, 9000 plus 4. Again, definitely the pointer will move to 9004 itself. 90, because it is adding the offset address is plus 4, it will be pointing to 90004. Okay, the data will be moved. The content that is present in 9004 data will be moved to R0, but R1 R1 remains unchanged. So that's what the output here. Okay, that's the output. See, R0 fetches the content from the 9004 location itself. Since I am not using the exclamatory mark, the R1 content remains unchanged. This is the difference between pre-indexing with write back and without write back. So pre-index offset is same as the pre-index write back, but does not update. So this is very important, but does not update the base register. Is this clear? So next, the third type. Only three types of indexing in load store in address. So same thing is true for store also. Okay, we'll discuss it in later part. Now let me finish all load operations and all instructions with respect to load. Now this is the same data that I am considering for post indexing. Again, this is how the data looks within the memory. Okay, base register is 9000. Now after execution, please note how the instruction is going to be varied. So this is how I write the instruction. What does it mean now? The point is very simple. Post indexing. Post means after placing the data from the data that is present in R1, then you increment the address by the offset address, right? The base address should be incremented later point. It means it fetches the R1 will be pointing out to the some address location, that where it is pointing out. So it is pointing out towards 9000. Now in this example, it will fetch the data from this address. So that is, it will fetch the data first, it will move to R0, then the address is gets incremented. So R0 will be 01010101, but later on the address gets updated. Okay, so the same thing here. So this is the difference between pre-indexing with write back, pre-indexing and post-indexing. Is this clear? So the pre-indexing mode is useful in accessing the element in data structures, because most of the time in a data structure you pick a element, you place it in register, then and you store it in a destination address. Say for example, so these are the memory address you have. So you have some set of data and you have address, you pick the data, you move it, then you increment the address, then again you pick this data, you move it here, then again you increment the address, right? So these kind of applications can be built with the what type of addressing mode? Pre-indexing addressing mode. Okay, whereas post-indexing, pre-indexing with write back, sorry, I'm sorry, so this is supposed to be post index, right? So this is supposed to be post index and this is pre index. So pre index and please make a correction here. So while uploading I'll correct Martin. Okay, this happens when we do the copy paste. The pre-index and pre-indexing with write back, these modes are useful in array transversing. Okay, moving the set of data, array of data. Okay, so these are the difference between pre-indexing with write back and post indexing. We'll see the o- operation how it is going to be performed as such. Now I'm considering the same data that is stored here, and let me take another data, right? Another data I should take. So that is the data present in the next address. Okay, well, that we will do it in directly there itself. So we already saw this. Now I'll say hash 4 and I'll say exclamatory. So what is this? So this is pre-indexing with write back option. This is pre-indexing with write back. So see the data, no errors as such. Then I will go for debug mode. Once again, yes, every time you have to go for memory map and change the address location that you are using for your operation. So that is 9 1 2 3 4 comma 0. It is not mandatory that you have to take this particular address every time. You can change the address location no matter. Okay, you can choose any address location, but whatever the address location you choose, Allah, you need to do a certain change. That's it. 91000 three times. I'll say that read write execute map the memory range and close this. So we have chosen the data called 01 01, here also 01, and here also 01. Now here 02 02 02 02. Okay. Now after this execution of this LDR R naught R1 comma hash 4 with exclamatory mark, what should be my output? By default, R1 contains 90000 plus offset I have given, which means that it will move to 9004 90004. Now, which means that it is the data that is 02020202 that will be fetched and placed to R0. It will copy to R0 register, but it will also modify the R1 content. Okay, that we will see here. So here R1 consisting of 9000 address. Now look at the R0. Now right now R0 is 0. Now if you observe here, it is fetched from 90004 address location, and the data is 2222. So same thing, 020202 is copied to R0. Now if you observe R1, R1 gets modified because of write back option. Because of write back. Now it is 90004. Okay. So this is all about pre-indexing with write back. I'll just modify this program. I will remove exclamatory mark now. Now this should not update my base register. Okay. So this is just a pre-indexing. It should not update. So R1 should not update. It should not update here because of pre-indexing. So let us see. The problem is every time you need to go and change the memory map settings. Four times, right? 1 2 3 4. Yeah. Okay. I kept the data same data as for our previous example, but here when it comes to LDR R naught, R1 remains same, that is 9000 itself. Run this. Now R1 is 900. It will jump by 4 location. Okay, so that it will fetch the data from 9004, but it will not update its R1. Now look at this. After execution, R1 has not updated, but the data that is fetched will be from R1 plus 4 pre-index base address plus the offset. From there it is getting fetched. Okay, so this is all about pre-indexing, just a pre-indexing. And I'll show a last one, that is post indexing here. What do you mean by post indexing? It will fetch, first it will fetch from the R1, then it will update by update to the next address location. Okay, fetch this, run, and then okay. Now the data is 0101 in 900 location and 020202 in 90004 location. According to this instruction, what operation it should perform? The content of R1. So content of R1 means from the location of 900000. So that is 01010110 should be fetched, and later on the address R1 should be uh, incremented by 4, and it should point to 0202 address location, that is it should point to 90004 location. Just check here. Now R1 we received 900000. The content is 010101, but R1 address get changed, so R1 get updated. So this is what we call it as post indexing. Is this clear? Any doubts here? I'll come back to Google Meet. Did you get this concept, students? To all of you, pre-indexing, post-indexing. Any doubts? Please let me know. Shall I continue with the next concept? Any doubts? You there or not? Fine. I'll go with next concept. I hope you understood. There is one more concept called uh, multiple register transfer. So right now I am concentrating only on load operations. Store operations we'll take it in at a separate, so that once I finish the load concepts, and then we'll move to yeah. Now this is where we will be using along with LDM STM. So multiple register. Right now I fetched only a single register. If I want to fetch the data from the multiple address locations to a multiple registers in a single go, is it possible? So it is, yes, it is possible. So that is through a mode, through a separate what we call it as suffix, by using increment after, increment before, decrement after, and decrement before. So these are the 4 different descriptions that we will be using here. Let us assume the contents. Now I just give you the problem statement in this way, so that it will be very helpful for you. So right now I want to access these data, these data to R0. Sorry, R0 I already have a address location to R1, and this to R2, and this to R3, R4, and R5 as such. Now what our regular, if I am using LDR, and probably I will be using A single register if I'm using, probably I would have used the pre-index post-indexing mode, so that I will be fetching each data. I fetch this data, then I will move to, then I will say LDR R0 comma hash 4. Sorry, this is from LDR R1 hash 4 R0 comma hash 4. So this is a post indexing address mode I would have used, and I would say that increment for 4 times, right? Because every time it should be incremented here, then I will once again, this will be fetched, once again this data will be fetched, after that this data will be fetched. Is it possible to fetch at a time? I need to right now assume that R1 data, R2 data, R3 data is 0. Now is it possible to, after execution, this should be my data. Simultaneously, in a single instruction I am speaking, I should use only one instruction, but it should copy from this address location to, that is from this address location to this address location. 1, 2, 3. These data is getting copied to multiple addresses, multiple registers. From multiple address. From multiple address, the data is copied onto the multiple registers, and the data is getting updated. The register data is now pointing to 8001C. Yes, this is done through a equivalent instruction called LDM. I say multiple register. M stands for multiple register. So that is R1, R2, R3. So I write it in a curly flower, R1 to R3. Okay. So increment after, which means that fetch this content, and the first register is R1, put it there. Now I have an increment after. Okay, I'll increment by 1 byte, right? That is 4, that is 104. Then take this data, put it in R2. Then up to R3 I am saying, so it will be increment after, then take this data and this increment after, it will do the increment after, because write back option I have used R0 with exclamatory mark. Now updated address is present in my R0. Since I am using only R1 to R3, so R1 to R3 register will get the data from 80010 location to 80018 location. Since I am using write back option, 1C is getting updated. If I don't use this, then the base address remains same. That's it. If I don't use this, the base address remains same. So that's what we call it as LDMIA instruction. Is there any doubt here? So now, will you try one simple example by using LDMIA? Store some 10 datas. Store some 10 data, fetch, because you have an option to use the registers from, if you are using R0 for base register and R1 to R13 or 12, you have a option. So you can fetch the 10 datas simultaneously and store it into a register. From the address location you can store it onto the register. Okay, try this out, because in the next next class we will try to go for load store instruction. We have done with a load, we'll go with different store instructions, and we'll try to understand how a block of data can be moved from one address location to another address locations. Okay, so we'll stop here for the day. I'll continue in next class, that is tomorrow. I think I have a class at 9 a.m. I'll finish the store instructions simultaneously, and once I done with this load store ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು example ಮಾಡೋಣ. Then later on we'll go for branch instructions, probably by this Friday, or then we'll finish up this chapter. Okay, so anyways, for we are almost much ahead, because for first internal we should cover 10 hours of syllabus plus 2 to 3 concepts from the second unit. Almost we are at verge of completing this, except branch instructions. Branch instruction may take another 3-4 classes. That's it. Probably soon after your IA, will within 2 or 3 classes we'll wind up the second unit. Okay. Till now, any doubts you have? So simultaneously ಕೀಲ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ? Okay, fine. I think there is a little confusion in Wednesday's class. So I talked to Nolgun sir and we have sorted out properly. There might communication gap from my end also. So let us freeze this time for every Fridays. That is probably from 10:15 we'll take 15 minutes break we'll give, and 10:15 to 11:15 we'll wind up. Okay, and Friday I had earlier I had at 11:30, that we preponed to 9 a.m. So Wednesday 10:30, Thursday and Friday it is at 10 a.m. Sorry, 9 to 10 a.m. 9 to 10 a.m. Okay, sorry, we'll leave the meet. We'll meet tomorrow at 9 a.m. Thank you.